What's up, Digidestins? This is Coyote, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we're going to be going over none other than all the amazing decks that are going to be playable. Are they going to top? Not all of them, but they're all new decks that you guys can give it a shot. Some decks just got one card, and we'll talk about that. But without further ado, let's talk about it and get into the video. First off, let's get into this. So we have Chessmon. Chessmon got a whole spanking new support line in the form of Biohawkmon, Huckmon, and all the way up. Usually you're not going to be playing the new Chessmon, really. It is a option, but to be honest with you, everything else just does what that wants to do, but better. So we're going to use the Biohawkmon or Biohawkmon and Huckmons to use this. Your turn, when you play a Digimon with Sistermon in its name, you may Digivolve this Digimon into save your Hawk from your hand for its Digievolution cost. When this Digimon would Digivolve with this effect, reduce the Digievolution cost by 2. So, being able to play a Sistermon after you promote it up, and then being able to basically Digivolve up into the next stage, really does help out and sets up the line of plays you want to do. So, definitely the new line definitely helps speed up the evolution just by playing Sistermons. And that's kind of what the deck centralized anyway around. But now with Chessmon having this new go strategy that kind of speeds up the clock, it does gain some more pressure in that way. And I think that's what this deck's going to want to do anyway. And we're going to have to see what happens in the long game. You know, Savior Hawk is still Savior Hawk. You're going to be doing all your crazy shenanigans. Being able to play Sistermons for free is really vital. If the Digimon has a Royal Knight's trait, you may play one Sistermon in its name from your hand or trash without paying its cost. Just spitting out bodies, setting yourself up, go into Chimeramon, build another stack, and keep applying pressure that way. So the deck is still going to do what it wants to do. It hasn't really changed much, and it's just going to try to, apply pressure and just be an annoying threat. Now let's get into one of the aces of the format, and that is Shine Greymon Burst Mode. So the overall theme of this deck is to take the Burst Digievolution, which takes the Marcus back to your hand. Then you'll play a Marcus for free without paying its cost. The Tamer played by this effect also gets 12,000 DP that can't Digivolve and gains Rush until the end of opponent's turn. And then when one of your Tamers becomes suspended, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack, being able to apply massive amount of pressure and just apply threading. It has two new Marcuses. Well, one new Marcus, basically a mem setter, but this one being able to minus 3,000 DP to any memory blockers or anything like that by just this coming down is really nasty. Him by himself can really just apply pressure that way, just because even if you just remove it, you'll buy yourself a turn, and then you can get in and just burst and punch your opponent through. The deck is going to spit out a bunch of Marcuses, and with the new WarGreymon, you get to basically, when evolving, may play one Marcus from your hand without paying its cost, but all turns when one of your red or yellow Tamers is deleted, place one Marcus from your trash face down. Has the same thing as its inheritable, basically guaranteeing that once one of your Tamers are deleted, you get them back onto security, constantly just recovering and applying. Then the Marcus comes back out, ready to swing in and punch for game. So definitely a lot of this comes in handy. Then we do have what is Yellow Hybrid Marcus Punch. So same focus, same generalization is that you're going to use like the Agumon from this set from BT-13 is main. One of your Marcuses is also treated as 3,000 DP for the turn that can't Digivolve. So you're going to build up a bunch of these Marcuses and then have this Marcus make this Agumon, basically making your, it's going to cost you a little bit of memory, but you'll set yourself back. And then boom, you're just spitting and punching with Marcuses. It's just like a Yellow Hybrid-esque theme. It doesn't focus on climbing all the way up and using the burst mode, but it focuses on just getting the Tamers to do your work, and then you can hybrid for game, shenanigans, and all that. So it's just really powerful. The deck has its moments, and it can lead to being very explosive. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on, especially if you guys don't want to play burst mode. You can play this one, but if they hit Marcus, both of these decks kind of phase out a little bit. This deck struggles a little bit more because it focuses mainly on the Marcuses compared to the Shine Greymon Burst. Then we do have WarGreymon. Since the ace is coming in, I figured let's talk about it. Because the ace will be legal at the end of the month, You're going to want counter burst Digievolution. This allows your, basically, if you have an ultimate out after your opponent's finished all his one attacking steps before you can block, you can burst Digievolution for free, basically answering, and then you can block your opponent's attack, especially if they're smaller. And basically all turns when a card is removed from the security stack, unsuspend this Digimon. What's also nasty is it is a play cost 6, so you can just hard play this on turn 1 if they gave you 3 memory, give that 3 memory back, and boom, now you have a boss level Digimon on board for cheap. Yes, it's a very easy threat removal, but usually your opponent can't answer Mega by turn 2, so just keep that in mind, you know, on their turn 2, so that's huge. And then you have WarGreymon X that can Digivolve on top of this, and then you're just applying pressure that way. So just keep that in mind. You know, the ace, you'll lose 3 memory. Is it 3? 4 memory if it's deleted, but hey, sometimes that's worth the gamble, right? Then we do have Gallopmon. Gallopmon's newest card is just a one-of again. So this card is the secret of the set. So when you would play this Digimon from hand, if you do not have a Digimon in play, reduce the play cost by 2 for every 5 cards in both players' trash, so he reduces, come down smaller. Then on play, when Digivolve, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. If no Digimon is deleted by this effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 DP or more. So basically, he's constantly just doing things. So either on play, and then when attacking, you'll remove 2 threats, and then when Digivolving, you know, that's another option. But again, big meaty boy, he's just going to apply pressure that way. Just keep this in mind. The deck is still relatively the same. The issues are still there. They haven't changed. Then we have Phoenixmon. Phoenixmon got some support with Chrissy and the new Biomon and the new Garudamon. So Biomon, basically, if you played by an effect, return 1 Chrissy to its owner's hand, this Digimon may Digivolve into Garurumon. Garudamon in your hand, ignoring Digievolution requirements without paying its cost. So basically sets you up to go into this one, basically recycling this card back into play. Chrissy is just basically on play. One of your Digimon gains on deletion, you may play 1 Biomon from your hand, just constantly just spitting out Biomons and stuff like that. The deck's not that good. It's a fun deck. You're not going to do much in this in competitive environment. Most decks out trump this deck by a mile, and it just needs another wave of support, to be honest with you, just to be better. Then we do have Metal Garurumon. Oh no, it's back. Yep, because Ace is in the format. You now have basically gaining memory back, so you can answer and do crazy shenanigans. Yes, you lost a lot of your OTK potential with the WarGreymon being restricted, but you can compensate for this one. When attacking, you have 8 or more cards, you gain 1 memory, but when Digivolving, draw a card. Not terrible. It's doable. It is not something you're going to be crazy winning with. But then we do have Aigastramon. Aigastramon got the new card in the form of Homer. Homer's on play. You may play 1 level 3 blue Digimon from one of your blue Digimon's Digievolution cards without paying its cost. When you would play a blue Digimon by suspending this tamer, you may place 1 level 4 or lower blue Digimon card from your hand under that Digimon as a bottom Digievolution source. Not terrible. I mean, the deck's going to do what it's wanted to do. Spits out bodies with Aigastramon's effect, and then just constantly you just build up and create boards, these wide boards. Death X isn't as prevalent this format because there are a lot of OTKs decks, and Death X is not good with against the Shine and Burst meta at all. You know, the Mirage meta. That's just how that goes, and Royal Knights, it doesn't really do anything. So definitely decks like this have a chance to do a little bit of funds. But yeah, the deck is the same as always. It just gained the new Homer, and it's just going to do what it does. All turns when you play a blue Digimon, suspend this tamer, you may place 1 level 4 or lower from your hand under that Digimon as a bottom Digievolution source. It just feeds your setup and just gets you more bodies going in rotation. Then we have Mirage Galga. You know what Mirage kind of does. It wants to bounce its, similar to Shine Greymon, it bounces its tamer, and then basically comes in for free, but return one of your opponent's Digimon to its owner's hand. Then for every 4 cards in your opponent's hand, it gains 1 memory. And then when attacking, if your opponent has 9 or more cards in their hand, by placing cards from your opponent's hand at the bottom of their owner's deck without looking until there's 8 left, unsuspend this Digimon. So this is not once per turn. This can keep going, and it gets really annoying pretty quickly. As long as your opponent gets to 9 cards all the time, you can just keep unsuspending and go, 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 go. So definitely very powerful. It has the new Thomas. So when your Digimon with Gallop or Gagomon in its name attacks, by suspending this tamer, both players draw the top card of their deck. So it's not bad, it's just really solid. This deck has a lot of potential. Shine Greymon outshines it right now, but Mirage probably might have a little bit favorable because blue seems to be the more dominant color in our format. Then let's get into Chessmon. Chessmon wants to play around the 3 claws. So what does that mean? Basically, you want to be on 3 and your opponent wants to be 3 or less. You kind of want to just get to that equilibrium of controlling your security, bring it down wherever it needs to be, and then having your opponent's security match to reach 6. So definitely, because like cards like Richard, once gets trashed from your security by effect, you may place this card, play it without playing its memory cost. So our main phase, if there's a total of 6 or less cards in both players' security stack, gain 1 memory. If there's a total of 6 or less cards in both players' security stacks, by suspending this tamer, one of your Codemon may digivolve into Contours in your hand, ignoring its level requirements and playing its memory cost. So basically, you want to go into this Chessmon. Basically, it helps recover if the total number of both players' security is 6 or less. Gain 3 memory. Reveal 1 card from your hand. If it's a yellow card, place it at the top of your security stack. Face down. If you not, return it to the hand. By trashing 1 card from the top of your security stack, unsuspend this Digimon. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7,000 DP. So not terrible, not bad at all. The deck's going to do what it wants to do. It uses the Pulsemons to kind of lower itself down, and then you can kind of use Balthamon to swing in with jamming with this Pulsemon. So definitely controlling a lot of pressure. You can do a lot of damage and just be a big nuisance. I mean, you have Codemon being able to search. You know, this one gives by returning 1 Contours to trash to the bottom of your deck, recover 1. You know, it does a lot of things it wants to do. Icy Breath is just really powerful, you know, and it just really solid deck all around. I have no objections with this. This deck is probably a sleeper pick. We have Chessmon. Chessmon's pretty interesting. They're very unique. So when you would play this card from your hand, if you have 8 or more Digimon with Chessmon in their name in your trash, reduce the play cost by 8. And then on play, when Digivolve and delete one of your other Digimon, you may play 1 Digimon with Chessmon in its name other than King Chessmon from your hand without paying its cost. Kind of just wants to swarm the board a little bit. So Queen Chessmon, all turns when your Digimon with Chessmon in its name is deleted, unsuspend this Digimon. She kind of just wants to block, and just the deck is a bunch of pawns and brooks and stuff like that. They all have a little bit of blocker. Well, the black versions have the blocker, the yellow versions have the effects. So on deletion, if it is your turn, you may play 1 for lower Chessmon in its name from your hand without paying its cost. So these are where you're getting the free, like if they swing in battle, they die, then boom. But it gives reboot. So it's not a bad trade-off. You know, the little guys constantly just playing the other color. So the white pieces will play the black pieces, and the black pieces are just doing similar things, because on deletion, if it's your opponent's turn, you may play 1 level. So it's just constantly just cycling through chess pieces. So it's not bad. I mean, it's a spammy deck. It just constantly regenerates, but the problem with the deck is still the fact of it doesn't always have enough pieces to keep going around. Then we have Rosemont Burst Mode. So it focuses around the new Yoshino. So it sets yourself to 3, but when one of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon with Vegetation, Plant, Fairy in one of its traits by suspending its tamer, gain 1 memory. You know the drill here. We're just going off with Rosemont here. When digivolving by suspending one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, unsuspend this Digimon. And then when an opponent's Digimon or Tamer becomes suspended, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamer. So, not bad, all restrictive. But you have Burst Mode here. That's just basically a mini Quartz. So, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and one of their Tamers. All your opponent's Digimon and Tamers do not unsuspend until the opponent's end of their turn. And then for every 2 suspending Digimon and Tamers your opponent's has in place, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So, basically, the wider the board and the more you can lock down, just be an annoying person you want to be. This is just going to do a lot of damage. You're just going to be mini quartzing, trashing free security. So the deck's pretty solid. I think it's really fun. Definitely keep it in mind. Bloom Hydra Quartz definitely takes in the Yoshino, takes in the new Sun Flowmon. By suspending this Digimon, you may digivolve one of your Digimon into a fairy in one of its traits from your hand by paying its Digievolution cost. If you would Digivolve by this effect, reduce it by 2. So making Quartzmon even cheaper is ridiculous. So basically, free Digievolution. Not bad. I mean, hey, cheaper evolution is always scarier. But all in all, the deck got some great support. You know, it has new Lalamon to help search out its fairies types and, you know, vegetation fairies, you know, does the same thing as the Palmon. Not terrible. The deck got some new waves of support. It's not like it changed much. Then we do have Leopardmon. Leopardmon focuses on basically wanting to digivolve into its Leopard mode by suspending one of your opponent's Digimon, then one of your opponent's Digimon can't unsuspend until the end of opponent's turn. When attacking by suspending one of your other Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. End of turn, trash the top card of this Digimon, unsuspend all your Digimon. So basically, you'll go back into multi-attacking with Leopardmon, swing in, Leopardmon mode phases out, and then you unsuspend all your stuff. You know, end of your turn. You know, not bad. You know, it's really solid. And if you have a way of getting back to your turn after you've done your end of turn skill, you can instantly just swing in again. So, not terrible. Then we have Dark Knightmon. Dark Knightmon definitely only got Black WarGreymon Ace, similar to how the WarGreymon did. So basically, it's blocker, you know, it's a counter, so when you're, you know, Dark Knightmon's on board, you can go into this burst mode, get a 11,000 DP'er, be able to block a little bit of threats, especially if you don't have Nene on board right away. So it's not terrible. I think it's just a great way of interaction, and it's useful. I mean, it'll probably do better with the Abormon Ace, but right now WarGreymon Ace is not a bad collateral. Then we have none other than Alphamon back with the new Doro Greymon and all the Doro stuff. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may place one X antibody trait among them under this Digimon as a bottom Digivolution card. If a card was placed this way, this Digimon's DP cannot be reduced until the end of opponent's turn. Trash the rest. You may place one Digimon with an X antibodies trace from your hand under this as a bottom Digivolution at the end of your turn. I think all turns, all turns, and then these have the inheritable when this Digimon has X antibodies trait, it gains plus 1000 DP. Both of them do, but we're just not bad for the extra 1000 DP. So, I mean, the deck's still the same. You want to play this new Alphamon because it's just so good, being able to basically on play when Digivolving, place one Digimon with X antibody Aurora Knights in its traits under this Digimon as a bottom Digivolution card until the end of opponent's turn. Your opponent Digimon with a play cost 10 or less cannot attack players in all turns. Once per turn, when this Digimon would leave the battle area by effect by placing one card with X antibody Aurora Knights in its traits from this Digivolution card to the bottom of its owner's deck, prevent it leaving play. So it'll stay on board even if you just try to remove it. So it's a very scary, beefy body, and then the Oryukin combo, you'll swing in OTK. So just deck's still the same. It just got the needed support with now having Doru Gray again. And that's what it needed. Then we have the Edemon deck, because Edemon is back, baby. Edemon, all turns, King Edemon. When another Digimon with Edemon or Sukamon and its name is deleted, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP and security minus 1 until the end of turn. Opponent's turn, all your Digimon with Edemon or Sukamon in their name gain blocker and cannot be returned to hand or deck. So basically, feeding the King Sukamon effect that basically can protect itself and basically remove threats off your opponent's side because you'll just pop their Sukamons and it'll just throw them off. The deck is really solid, very powerful. Is it going to do a lot? Probably not. Just, it's got its problems, and it becomes blatantly clear once you play it. Then we do have Gagomon, Black Gagomon. So Black Gagomon takes basically all the neat stuff that the Dorumon X antibody line has, and basically tops in with the effects that you can at least tuck the Greymon X antibodies, because they're not restricted to color, they're restricted to just being X antibody types. So you can set up your Gallomons to do all the crazy shenanigans. Probably really good for, let's say, Ultimate Cups, because this is just Black Gagomon, finally giving them the black resources they needed. So BT-13, Black Gagomon, Ulti Cup, probably really solid. Then we have Balthamon Sleep Mode and Rage Mode, basically using the Gazumons, basically deleting your raising area to be able to set this up, and then when they're deleted, you get to, by placing two Gazumons, or whatever the heck these are, in their name from trash at the bottom of the deck in any order, you may play one of the next line up. You keep kind of doing this so that you can get into Balthamon Sleep Mode, cycling into Rage Mode to back into Sleep Mode, constantly doing this, and then you have like Akihiro, basically when you would play a Digimon with Balthamon in its name by deleting one of your Digimon with Jessamine in its name, reduce the play cost by the play cost of that deleted Digimon. So, not bad. And then opponent's turn, once per turn, draw a card, then trash one card from your hand. Then by placing this tamer under one of your Digimon, you may delete one of your opponent's level 6 or lowers. Not terrible. The deck is very synergistic. It does what it wants to do. You're going to go into Balthamon Sleep, into Rage, and just constantly just apply pressure this way. So now we're getting into the nitty-gritty, the final coup de grace couple decks. So, of course, we have to talk about none other than Raymon. Raymon Burst Mode, of course, one of the few purple decks. So by returning one Keen, which is your tamer, to its owner's hand, Digivolve into a Raymon, as like any of the burst decks have been. When Digivolving, look at your opponent's hand, trash one card in it. Then, if your opponent has 7 or fewer cards in their hand, that they add the top card of the security to their hand. Basically, free damage, not bad. But when attacking by returning one Digimon from your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the same name as this card returned by this effect. So basically, a mini Omnimon by just taking one of their trash, putting it at the bottom of the deck. It's basically cycling out. You just get rid of one for another. So that's not terrible. I think that's pretty cool. And, you know, even taking a look at it, you know, on deletion, if this Digimon was deleted other than by a battle, your opponent trashes one card from their hand. So what's major about it is you're going to be trashing opponent's hand size at this point. I think Skull Memamon is pretty much more needed at this point. You could definitely play the other Chromon, but at this point, you kind of want to just have your Raymons all set and ready to go. And that's kind of just how you want to be. The Raymons, you just want to turbo up and get into it. You know, Keenan's really good at being Keenan. So when one of your purple Digimon with Raymon in his name, or Bird or Avion in one of his traits is deleted by suspending this tamer, draw a card. If that Digimon was deleted by an effect, gain 1 memory. And then you have this Keenan here. So one of your opponents may trash one tamer card or an option card from the hand. If they do not trash, gain 1 memory, draw a card. An opponent's turn, when a Digimon is played by an effect, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory. Since your Digimon's going to come in at the end of your opponent's turn, that's going to be vital as can be. So, you know, basically you're going to gain extra memory out of the deal. So this is just pretty decent. I mean, hey, the deck's going to play how it wants. You're going to try to control your opponent's hand while re-spamming out Raymons left and right, and then using burst mode to go crazy. So, not bad. Being able to control hand size against opponent is not very common in this game. So being able to manipulate and regulate what they do kind of just gets a little crazy and nutty fast. And then finally, Royal Knights. There's probably a bunch more decks I'm going to mention, guys, but we're just going to go over mainly what I've seen so far and just taking out of the data. So Royal Knights uses Yggdrasil or King Drazel in the English. Basically, each turn you're going to be tucking your field underneath. Yggdrasil reduces the play cost of your Digimon by X amount for every source in its hand. Yggdrasil keeps flipping up, and then once you place an option with Royal Knights in its traits in the battle area, gain 1 memory. So your goal is to get Purge of the Royal Knights for cheap, and then basically you get a free Royal Knight later, which is not bad. You know, it gains Rush, be able to attack the turn. You know, major key cards you want to have is Dynasmon at a full play set. I think Gallopmon at 3 is fine. Omnimon at 4 is kind of, it's up to you. Omnimon at 4 is just to guarantee you get it, because sometimes you won't draw enough. But, you know, you have like Magnamon, who's going to be, when it leaves play, draw a card. You know, Alphamon just sets up and just be a big, annoying big boy that can't be removed off the field because you tuck something underneath. You'll have a Royal Knight underneath there. And when Yggdrasil tries to pull him away, you take and get rid of it, and then you're on the board still. You get an extra turn of swing with Alphamon, showing the context of how Alphamon can reject Yggdrasil, because in normal story arcs, that's what he kind of does. So, definitely really solid. You know, you have like Gagomon, who basically gets to play something for free. You know, you have Gallopmon. Of course, this thing becomes freer and freer, but it has Rush. You know, and then you have Contorismon. I think at least 2 Contorismon, just so you can activate the effect, be able to recovery, gain 3 memory, all that good stuff. So it's just all around great deck. You know, goal is to get as many of your Royal Knights of different names and then slam down Omnimon and go like, hey boys, let's go. You know, Avengers Assemble moment here. You know, get them all out. And that's just kind of like the main gist of the deck. You just kind of go from there. You want to draw as much as you can, so this is why you use like Sistermon Blanc, Sistermon Seal, and Okomemon, Omekimon, yeah, Omekimon. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. On play, draw, and then on deletion, place one card with Royal Knights in its traits from your hand under one of your Yggdrasils in the breeding area as a bottom Digi-Evolution. So basically speeds up your tempo. So all in all, great decks. I think there's a lot of potential, but what decks are you building? And did I give you any spice to kind of just start off? So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace!